start rolling on a river. I guess we're gonna have to start with that beach event, mate. You know what I mean? Like, that's blown my mind, and I've never heard about it before. So you're gonna have to tell the people of the world. It's mainly just me, mum.
Okay.
Literally just me, mum listening. But yeah, tell me, mum.
Pretty much every beach on the coast around Australia has their own like surf lifesaving club, and they like obviously in charge of sort of like the lifeguards, but they're called the lifesavers. And then I don't know, like years and years ago, they must have decided to turn it into a sport. So we just race all around the country. I think all our races are obviously in summer, but it like ranges from like Ironman to like board paddling, open water swimming, rescue races, beach sprints, which is what I do. And there's also beach flags where you have to lie down, get up, turn around and try and grab a flag, like musical chairs. So there's like one less flag than there are people. Really random, I know. Anyways, they've got that, and they've got like boat racing. There's like some in the pool, but yeah, they've like made a sport out of it. And it's like, yeah, it's massive here. So I didn't realize how like strange it was to people around the world. But other countries do it because we have world championships.
I'm calling bullshit on this.
Nah, not kidding. Worlds are in Italy this year. So there's some countries do it. They do. But you know, I think
I'm sure you guys just went on holiday. You know what I mean? Took all your athletes over there. I was like, right, we're gonna do it over here and bring it international.
Probably. Yeah.
I've never heard of this.
No one actually there.
Although we don't really have many beaches, and in the north there is like 0 beaches. So I mean, I'm not going to hear of this, right? But I've never heard of this. Like, honestly, it's blown my mind.
I know. Well, there you go. You learn something new every day.
Do you do it in school?
No, not really. You sort of
just outside.
You only really know about it or do it if you like live along the coast, pretty much. And then like if you live inland, then you pretty much have to travel, or you just don't really know what it is. But to all the kids that like grew up along the beach, because you learn a lot of life skills like doing it as a kid. Like you learn how to swim in open water, you learn what to do if you need rescuing and how to rescue people. And then people turn it into like careers. So they work every day on the beach, like life-saving. Some people volunteer, which is what we have to do in order to compete. We have to do voluntary hours every weekend. Well, not every weekend, but you can do it every weekend. And just to keep our beaches safe, because obviously it's pretty dangerous here.
Fucking blow my goddamn mind. It's not hard though, I'm blonde, you know what I mean? But like at the same time, like I think that's such a cool idea with the voluntary stuff, and also taking it from teaching kids, right, how to be safe in your natural habitat, right, and then also taking it into the sport and the performance side and that. I think that's really cool. Like I like that a lot. I think it's crazy, but I like it. Yeah,
it is crazy, but it's cool. It's definitely a very like traditional Aussie thing to do. So yeah.
Traditional Aussie thing to do. Just like a shoey.
Yeah, just like every other weird thing we do.
I'll get on board with that shoey though. Like I'm on board. I like it.
I'm glad.
No problem. It's like lunch break, you know, Monday morning. Boom, shoey. What's he doing? I don't know. I'm just embracing the culture.
Exactly.
Yeah. So what's your distance? You sprint on the beach?
Yeah, so it's 90 meters on the sand.
Jeez.
So because obviously like there's different, like every beach has different sand. It's crazy as it is. So sometimes you'll rock up and it will be like rock hard sand. So you're basically running like on an athletics track and it's over really quick. But then sometimes you'll rock up and you'll be running in like almost quicksand. So it feels like you're running like a 400 and it's only 90 meters. Wow. So every day is different pretty much. So some people like run better in certain conditions, others do better in other conditions. So yeah.
And do you take the average?
The average?
Yeah, or is it just like they won that competition, or do you take the average of all the competitions throughout the season?
So we'll have like a heap of competitions throughout the season just within your like state. And then you'll have the state championships, and then you'll have the national championships, and then you'll have the world championships. So
which is just Australia, right?
Yeah, there's a lot. So, and every beach is different. So you might like from where I'm from, we run on like really hard, rock hard sand. But then where the nationals are, the sand is like really soft and boggy. So we really struggle to do well.
Wow.
So yeah, it's crazy.
So what's the training like for that?
We do like long stuff on the sand. Most of my training's on track, and then we don't really like focus on sand until a few weeks before like nationals, because a lot of us do track sprinting and beach sprinting, because you just get more competition if you do both. But yeah, we just do like practice starts for our block starts. Instead of like setting up like starting blocks, we have to dig our blocks in the sand. So before our race, we're like all digging in the sand, trying to dig these holes to put our feet in. So we do a lot of practice with that, and just running like longer distances. So like my pre-seasons used to be like 150 meters on sand, which felt like bloody forever.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not too different to like normal athletics training. It's just on sand, and you've got to get used to that because it's a whole different running style. Because you've got to try and power through the sand. So yeah.
Yeah, your cadence is going to be really off.
Yeah, 100%. Like you don't push off the sand because you like sink in it. So you want to be really like light and like sort of like glide over the top of the sand. Whereas on the track, like you want to like exert so much force and you want to be heavy and strong. So when you do both, you find that you end up struggling a lot with one of them, and it's hard to sort of just like flick the switch and change how you run. So yeah.
That's crazy. I remember on a couple of sports stars, like playing rugby, like you play a little bit of touch on the sand, right? Just as a little bit of fitness and a bit of fun. And it's like you're in quicksand and sludge. It's like you're not moving.
I know. It's crazy. You just like watch videos from when you're racing and you just look so slow, and you watch it and go, fuck, that's so embarrassing. Like I'm going absolutely nowhere. But like you feel like you're flying on sand. Because you're so used to just walking on it when you go to the beach.
Yeah.
How
long does it take you?
What, to run that?
Yeah, 90 meters.
I don't know. We don't actually time it. So like at the finish line. So like obviously sometimes it's really close. They set up like iPads at the finish line, and they have like a group of like officials that stand there with the iPad like filming the end of the race, and then they can look over and see who crossed it first. Sometimes they have timing gates, but they don't give you the time. They just give you like the difference between everyone as they finished. But I don't know how long it takes. Probably like a bloody long time, to be honest. It'd probably be a bit embarrassing if I knew and I said it. Because probably
5 minutes.
Probably it feels like that.
No, that's like me running 100 meters on a track. You know, like it takes a while. You know, it's not good. My running's not there. You know, I pick things up. I don't even put them down. You know, I give it a little bit of a drop, and we call it weightlifting. We don't run. I barely even run for the ice cream van.
I will. Each to their own.
Everyone's got my speed down, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Dial them in. Kev, turn round. I want me 99.
Oh, it's funny.
Do you have Mr. Whippy in Australia?
We do.
Oh man, honestly, that as a kid was like crack.
Oh, I know. That's it. I was never allowed it. Well, like it would always drive past our house, but like I couldn't get out in time.
Really? Is that why you became a sprinter?
Yeah, it is. No, but it was actually so expensive because you can get the same thing at Macca's for like what? Well, I don't know. You really don't even know what Macca's is. McDonald's. We call McDonald's Macca's.
Yeah, I've been here for like 3 years. Been in New Zealand for 3 years, isn't it?
Okay, well, yeah, you can get it for like 30 cents at Macca's, but it's like $5 at Mr. Whippy. So
are you comparing Mr. Whippy to a Mackey's ice cream?
Yeah, they're the same thing. It's a soft serve with a flake in it.
No, it's not the same ice cream.
It is.
No way.
What makes you say that?
I don't know. I think it tastes different.
Really?
Maybe it's a placebo effect. I don't know.
Maybe.
But I don't know. The soft serve at Mackey's is awful. You know?
I don't mind it.
It's like soft dandruff.
What?
Yeah, it's not the best, mate. Come on.
Oh,
get yourself a Mr. Whippy, a little bit of like strawberry syrup on it, maybe the old flake in the middle.
Yeah, a bit of sprinkles and you're good to go.
Oh, you got sprinkles. hundreds and
Yeah.
thousands or something.
Yeah, so good.
So how's the training to be a professional fitness coach now?
Being a coach.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or a
it's
trainer.
good. I enjoy it. It is it's a bit harder than I sort of imagined, because like I have like a certain way that I train, obviously as a sprinter, but the everyday person like doesn't train like that. Like I'm doing like the weirdest exercises in the gym to make me faster and to like not get injured, but the everyday person like doesn't need to do that. So I think like, yeah, I thought it'd be a lot easier than it is. Obviously the study is very dry and boring, but we're getting there. But yeah, like being on the floor in the gym it's a bit challenging, but I enjoy it because it's like what I like doing. So yeah, I'm excited to like be done with all my study and fully get into it.
For sure. That's like, I think that's where you start proper learning, right? Like you get all the certificates and you tick the boxes and all that, and then you're insured, right? But then you start learning on the floor and you get people in, and
I know.
It's so cool, man.
Yeah, it's so good. It's so rewarding as well. And like, yeah, I think with a lot of experience, I'll get better. But yeah, like you learn stuff in the books, and it's like, yeah, that's not going to happen.
Yeah, it doesn't apply to people.
No, exactly. So.
But you also got a unique position because you have got that sprinting background, right, and that knowledge.
Yeah.
So then you can kind of branch off and go to the performance side as well, which will be really cool
Yeah.
because it's super niche and not a lot of people know about running. Like, I mean, if you came to me, I'd be like, listen, I know people that know about it. Yeah. I'm not the guy to come to.
Exactly. Like teaching running is actually like really tricky. Like so many people like can run, but they can't run properly. And they run like in ways that are like just going to do more harm than good.
Yeah, that's
so,
probably.
And especially like being a female as well, teaching like something athletic is pretty like hasn't really been done that much. It's more like sort of the, I don't know, bodybuilding or like just physique focused. Whereas I'm really excited to hopefully branch off into more like performance coaching and like strength and conditioning. Yeah, it'll be very exciting. So
talk to me about that. That's really interesting. Like, because I geek out about the industry, right? And about coaching in general, and how do we help everybody, including the coaches within the industry, right? So you said it was a bit different for being a female in the performance side. What do you mean?
More just like the coaching side. Like I find most like professional coaches, well, not really athletics coaches, but more like gym coaches that focus on like strength and conditioning. I feel like it's very male dominant.
Yeah.
So and then like I feel like that sort of might push girls away that are sort of a bit nervous to get started.
Yeah.
Because like they'd probably be training with like footy players and like these big tough guys. So I know like a lot of girls like have sort of reached out and like wanted to know about my training and like how can I get faster? Like I want to start sprinting, but like no one really talks about it, and like there isn't much out there to help you. Like if you Google like a sprint program, like you're not going to find one.
No.
Like it would just be like go out and do sprints. Like you need to be like specific. So I think it'll be really good to help people. And also like sprint training is like you need it for like every sport, like not just for track and field. Like you sprint in literally almost everything you do. So I think it'll be really good like industry to work in and something to start up, and hopefully attracts a lot of people to try something, because like I have had a pretty short athletic journey. I'm only in my second season of like fully committing to training, because I was a netballer pre-athletics. So I think like to sort of show people that it doesn't take that long to like really improve and build strength and build speed, and that's sort of what encourages people to join in, because like all the girls you see that are like amazing sprinters and are so strong, they'll be like, oh, I've been doing it for like 10 years, 15 years, my whole life. So people will be like, oh, well, I don't want to do that. Like that's going to take me forever. So yeah, I'm kind of glad I'm like obviously not at the top with my running. Like I'm not some world champion, but I'm just like sharing my journey of like how enjoyable it is and achievable it is for anyone to start.
And there's definitely some benefit doing multiple sports beforehand, before honing in and being like super specific and niche. Like you built such a like wide base of the pyramid, you know what I mean? And you're kind of like a robust human that can then go do some cool shit, right? Can get on the beach and run around like a fucking no. I can't believe that. I'm gonna watch it one time. I'm gonna watch it. Just see these crazy people running around on sand.
Yeah, 100%. It's
Fucking
so
nutters.
funny.
What's that?
But
Oh,
yeah,
they're Australian. Don't worry about it. It's like, it makes a lot of sense.
yeah, pretty much. But yeah, it is good doing a lot of sport. So you build a big foundation and then you can pretty much just like do anything after that once you have all those skills you need. So
Yes.
yeah, I'm excited to sort of mix it up one day and try something else, which is like something like people don't do, because a lot of people think that like once you hit a certain age, like you can't try a new sport because that's what you do when you're a kid. That's why like even like today, like people like coaches will be like, oh, like you're 21 and like you're only in your second season. Like most people like quit by 21 and they start when they're like 12. And I'm like, yeah, well, I don't care. So
yeah, it's the whole thing of early specialization sports as well. And
yeah,
like, have you ever swam competitively or done
I did when I
gymnastics?
was young. I did gymnastics and I did a bit of swimming as well, but I wasn't amazing at swimming.
Well, me neither. But
Yeah,
I was more
hence
of a
why I
whale.
run. Yeah.
But like both of those are a really good example of like early specialization. And
Yeah.
it's quite strange if you look at it from like an S&C point of view and like a coach's perspective that sees everything, right? It's like this all-seeing eye of like, right, we need to one, teach these kids life, two, make it so they don't break and get injured, three, get them good at their sport, and then four, like actually make them have some sort of a social life. And
Yeah.
with those early specializations, they literally do one of those, and that's like, you're going to be a good gymnast or you're going to be a good swimmer.
Yeah.
And then they carry on that mindset, don't they, until an adult. And it's like, oh, I'm no longer a gymnast or a swimmer. I no
Yeah.
longer do sport. And it's like, what? Go
I
fucking play
know.
tiddlywinks or ultimate frisbee or something, because it's
Yeah.
fun. It's just like, it's play, right? And adults can play.
Yeah. 100%. I know. Like it's like sad to see people quit because like a lot of them are like quite talented, but unless they're like at the very top and like making a career out of it, then they're not interested. But for me, like I don't think I'd be able to exercise without like a competitive goal at the end. Like for me to just go and exercise with no purpose, like I don't get motivated by that. So I always need to have something that I'm training for. And I'm sure a lot of people are the same. So yeah, I do find it a bit sad to see people drop off, especially so early as well. It's often before they hit that like sort of like 16, 17, 18, like drinking age, I think, when they start to just like, obviously that's fine. Like you focus on your study and your social life, but it is good to have a bit of an escape as well.
Yeah, I think it's really sad because it's like between like 14 and 16, right? Like there's a lot of drop off in females. And I think that's
Yeah.
really, really sad because that's like when they need it the most, right? Because body's changing galore. We need to figure
Yeah.
out what this shell is like, what we're in, right? And then
Yeah.
now socially, it's like unacceptable for you to play sport. And that doesn't make much sense to me. And like,
No.
how would you go approach like go about approaching that and breaking that stigma?
I think like you just sort of have to break like the idea that you can only like play a sport if you're good at it. I really don't like, I don't know, that idea. And like for netball, for example, like there are so many divisions. I think where I used to play, there was from 1 to 12. Like you could literally not be able to throw a ball and there's still a team for you. Like, and then if you're amazing, there's a team for you as well. So I think like the best way to break the stigma, I think, is just like awareness and like posting about it and sharing it on social media, because that's what everyone's on. And like sharing your journey, like when you first start a sport, and like showing people that it's like not embarrassing and like it's okay to start. And like I remember when I was in school, I did like literally every sport there was. So I could get out of study. And like I was just like at recess and lunch, like trying to encourage people to join the team, because we couldn't even fill a team of like a sport with like 10 people because no one wanted to do it. And like, oh, I don't know how to do that. I'm not good at that. And I'm like, I don't care. I just want you to come and like enjoy it. And like just the fact that you can be social and also like get fit and be healthy and like do that all at the same time is just, I feel like, so much more enjoyable than just like going to the gym on your own and having a walk on the treadmill and you don't really know what you're doing. Like you may as well play a sport and you get both out of it. Like so many of my best friends are the ones that I train with. So yeah, like you just get to meet so many people, like you're doing so much good for your health and well-being.
Mm.
And then who knows, like you might be really good at it. Like some of the best athletes out there like don't start till like so late. So yeah.
Yeah, I've noticed that sport for me is like a safe haven. You know,
Yeah.
if I've got a ball, right, and I'm just like either chucking a rugby ball, kicking a footy, playing basketball, just throwing a tennis ball at a wall or something, it takes me back mentally to being a kid. And then all those
Yeah.
anxieties or whatever's going on, right, stress or whatever, just kind of like
Yeah.
goes to the wayside
Yeah.
while I'm playing. Because I do it before I do a class, right? Before I like
Yeah.
actually work out. I just like mess around, even if no one wants to play. I'm just like messing around for 10, 15 minutes.
Yeah.
People are like, what the fuck is this? Has he got ADHD or something? I was like, I don't know, maybe, but like, you know, like it de-stresses me. And I think as adults, we need that more, right? We encourage
Yeah.
kids to do it, and then it's like bang, when we reach a point, okay, you can no longer play anymore. I was like, no, 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 no. We get old because we stop playing,
Yeah.
right?
100%. And I feel like there's so many like adults out there that like refuse to exercise because I feel like there's only like one option when you're
Yeah.
old.
Yeah.
And it's like pretty much walk or not, maybe three options: walk, run, and gym. Like that's all you really do.
Yeah.
And like some people aren't going to like that. Like I don't like that. That's why I play a sport. So I get to sprint and like power lift and all that. And then like, I don't know, someone might like throwing a ball. And yeah, like I think that's just why like our population is like has those issues because
Yeah.
people aren't to like play sports, but also like there's probably not enough like funding and opportunity for people to like do those kind of things. But yeah, that's something we can work on.
Even just take the ball outside. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like just do it like you did with your kids.
yeah,
Put like two shoes or some jumpers out to make some nets, right? And just play some ball. You know what I mean? Like you don't have to be
100%.
kids to play like that. And I think
Yeah,
it's like the psychological factors too, right? Because you get the social side of it, and then people no longer feel lonely, and then they've got like a bit of a buffer. You know,
yeah,
they're looking forward to something, and that thing that they're looking forward to isn't just the next drink, for example, right? It's not just a
yeah,
pub.
yeah,
I was like, no,
yeah,
there's a bit more to it. You know, we get to see your mate, you get to like kick the ball around, you get a bit of an endorphin rush. You know, you might
yeah,
score a goal or you might fuck up and everything. It's like it's funny, right?
yeah,
And
exactly.
yeah, you just throw something around and shoot the shit.
Yeah, that's so true. I love that. But
Yeah.
yeah, that's a
I-
very good point.
I've been playing fives recently, football fives.
Yeah.
I've not played football in about 15 years.
Oh, really?
Like it's been a long time. Like I've done
Yeah.
a lot of sports in between that. I did like rugby
Yeah.
really seriously. I was like competing in CrossFit for a while. Then I did weightlifting, and now I'm like, oh, let's go like kick a ball around. I was like, yeah, sure. I mean, why not? I'm a little bit heavier than I used to be. I'm not light on my feet, and I definitely can't run. But it's so
That's fun.
fun, you know. Like you're
Yeah.
just getting on that game. The clock's going. You know, like you've got that relationship between the ref and the players, and then everybody's kind of like reading off each other. And then you leave and you're just like euphoric. You know what I mean? You're like
Yeah.
so pumped up. You're like, this is awesome. Let me play again.
Yeah, well, I think the best thing about that is the fact that you don't even feel like you're exercising. Like you're not forcing yourself to like go and run however many Ks you end up running in a game. Like you just do it because that's a part of the game.
Yeah.
So I think, yeah, like you literally train so hard when you're playing sport, but like mentally, like all you care about is like, I guess, having fun, winning the game potentially,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
just like, you know, like you don't even like your mind's just in another place,
Yeah.
which I think is so awesome. And that's like why I love it so much. Like if I like just say I ran like I was doing what you did and I ran like 10 Ks in that game, I could not push myself to get on a treadmill and go run 10 Ks and
Fuck
just
no.
have like a blank mind and just run it. Like it's not the same.
Hmm.
So yeah, it is so good.
So what sport do you think you're gonna end up taking up when you stop running around like a headless chicken on a beach?
I really want to take up like AFL, like
Oh,
Australian football, because it's really big over here at the moment. Like women's footy and like girls are like making careers out of it. Like obviously there's not as much money unfortunately as like the men get, but like the exposure is like just getting better every year. And
mm,
I think it's really cool. And like I do love my ball sports. And then playing that, I get a bit of everything. I get to run, I get to play with the ball. all that. And then also like now, like doing an individual sport, I do miss like the social side because I often like I have my team, but at the end of the day, like whatever the outcome is, it's all on me. Like it's my fault. Like I can't be like hugging my teammates because they're my opposition and everything, you know, like it's so different. But I do really want to play that at some stage, but I guess I'll just see where I go with my running and then I'll decide. It also is like a very like, there's a lot of like very high injury rate with footy. So I'm sort of just waiting for the time where I'm willing to potentially do a bad injury.
It's brutal, right?
Yeah, like literally every round there's like an ACL. And I'm like, well, like I'm not willing to do that. Like that's 12 months off. Like you don't get injuries like that with running. Like you can't do an ACL running in a straight line. So I'm like,
yeah. Well, you'd hope not.
I bloody hope not. I know. If anyone's gonna do it though, it'd probably be me.
Oh damn, don't do that, please.
Yeah, I know. But then after AFL, I would love to do like CrossFit because I love the gym side of my like ATS training. I almost love it more than the running, which is pretty bad. Sometimes I forget that I'm actually training to be a runner and not a weightlifter because I get so like hyped up about like lifting PBs and stuff, which it literally doesn't matter. But yeah, I think when I'm like older, I'll do CrossFit. Like I'd love to be like a CrossFit mum.
Yeah.
Mums that like just throws weights around and like is so
Dude,
strong.
they're badass. I've got so many of them. Like holy shit! Like they're just yank and crank some barbells. There's like how many plates was on that bar? What the fuck is going on? Like this chick just walked into the gym, threw this weight above her head, and was just like, "Yeah, good job."
Yeah, I think it's so cool.
You're like,
yeah, it's awesome. So I would really like to do that. So
it's so cool, man. Like that fires me the fuck up, you know. Coming there at 6 a.m. You know, they've had like 3 hours sleep.
Like, yeah, and they're like lifting hundreds of kilos. Like it's crazy. I have so much respect for them.
Oh, they're nuts. Walking on their hands, running up ropes.
Oh, I know those handstand push-ups they do. I'm like, oh my god, they're throwing your head on the ground right now. Like fun. Like,
well, you're supposed to be, you know, lowering it, controlled. You know, not just like twatting your head against the floor because that's a surefire way of getting a couple of concussions. You know, like
well, that's what I thought.
That didn't come from my mouth, okay? Like Coach Alex didn't say to do that.
No.
No, that's a big one though. Like I've seen so many people and they break their necks.
Really?
No, dude.
Oh god.
No, I got it, Alex. Don't worry about it. Coach, I'm in. Coach, put me in. I've been doing my like they go upside down. You're like, what the fuck? No.
Wow.
You're not doing that in my class.
Yeah.
I think I've only had 2 injuries or something like that in like 12 years of coaching coming up to.
Oh wow, that's so good.
Yeah. Like 2, like, okay, yeah, they fucked up. They could have done better. I might have been able to predict it, blah, blah, blah. One of them was actually in a warm-up. We played netball. So that's your fault. That's your spot.
Yeah.
It was with a sponge ball. Don't ask. Anyway, I got 3 questions.
Yeah.
Zoom's going to kick us out because apparently I didn't upgrade it, but whatever. Got 3 questions. Number 1, what's the greatest piece of life advice you've ever received?
Probably treat people how you want to be treated.
Ooh, who told you that?
Probably like one of my teachers when I was like 5.
a good student.
Yeah, probably something like that. But
I mean, it works. That's a good piece of advice.
Yeah, 100%. And especially like, I don't know, as you get older, people forget that. And I don't know, like I often see like people like, I guess, use and abuse people and then.
Yep.
Yeah. And like relationships as you're older are like sort of harder to hold on to because people have very busy lives. So I think if you can do that, then you're in the right direction.
Yep. And it's goes with no expectation as well, right?
Yeah.
No, I'm not gonna treat you nice because I want something from you. It's like no, just like.
Oh, it's so common these days.
Do your thing.
But like, yeah.
It's weird. It's so weird. It's like so many games going on. It's like we all had some sort of briefing, right, with the rules of all these games, and I missed it. I was in the toilet.
Yeah.
Right, because I've come back
Legit.
out, I was like, what's going on, guys? Like, I don't fucking understand this. Okay,
Yeah.
I'll just keep doing
Oh,
my
I
thing
know.
and drink beer on a weekend.
Yeah.
Whatever, you
I
find me in
know.
a gym. What's the worst piece of life advice you've ever received?
Oh. Um, I don't know. That's hard. I don't think I've gotten any bad advice. I probably like giving myself bad advice. Probably, and it'd all be to do with training and overtraining.
Yeah,
That's probably the worst.
that's a
And
good one.
yeah, I'm a very bad overtrainer. I think
Uh,
like starting athletics, I've gotten better because you can't perform unless you're rested. But when I was doing more like endurance sports, like yeah, I definitely stuffed up there. But I think yeah, like probably like hearing like misinterpreting advice with training, thinking that like I don't know, I guess volume makes you like high volume makes you a better athlete.
mm,
That's probably the worst thing that I've misinterpreted, thinking that like I have to train. Well, actually, no pain, no gain is bad advice.
yeah, that's shite.
Yeah, yeah, that's probably what I'm. Yeah, 100%. So I definitely like grew up thinking that like I wasn't going to like get any better unless I was literally in pain.
Yes.
I might have been like injured, and I'm not getting anything out of it until I'm dying. So yeah,
It's funny, right? Because I think possessing the ability to put yourself there is a massive strength. However, it's like 0.1% of the time that you need to do that, right? It's a cup
yeah,
final, it's the final of an event. Sometimes you got to put the
yeah,
body on the line, but people take it day in, day out. Literally, I'm going to go in
yeah,
and destroy myself in the gym like every time. You're like,
yeah.
dude, you don't have to do that, man.
And there's even like some like coaches out there that will like you'll be complaining that you've got like this beginning of some injury, and they're
Yeah.
like, oh well, like keep pushing, like
Yeah, man
don't
up,
do
suck it
it, bitch.
up, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think like yeah, I guess as like life's moving forward, like you experience less of that, but I've definitely like seen it before, and it's
Yeah.
like it's not good.
There was an old school like method of swimming back in the UK where it
Yeah,
was something like the kids had to get 12,000 miles in them before 12, otherwise they wouldn't make it as a professional. Something crazy like that.
oh my god.
And but all the swimming teachers used to come from, or swimming coaches I should say, used to come from the military.
Oh
And
really?
usually it was like commandos or SAS or something like that. So again, it kind of added a little bit more like of a spin to it, right? And these kids, like, no, they were getting like I've coached them. Like these kids have
Yeah.
problems that you shouldn't have as a 25-year
Oh,
old, never mind a 12-year-old.
I reckon like the coaching you receive as a kid like literally shapes who you are as a
Yeah, yeah,
person.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Like yeah, like some like I remember being like traumatized as a kid sometimes, like with some of the coaching, and I was like, I'm never coming back. So I think yeah, like that's definitely something like really important to think about for like the future
Yeah.
generations.
I
Is
love
like yeah,
coaching kids.
like you remember like everything that you go through as a kid, like every bad thing you go through, like you remember it, and then like as an adult, like you'll still be like worried about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, I know that is really messed up.
Yeah, you coach kids life through the medium of sport or fitness. Like
Yeah,
that's all it is.
100%.
Like you just keep
Yeah,
coach them how to be a functioning human being in society.
yeah, and there's not much you have to teach them, but
No,
like so many people do it wrong.
don't be
So
a cunt.
yeah,
That's it.
exactly.
Full stop. That's all we got to do. Now let's play a bit of sport. That's
Yeah,
it.
it's that easy. Yeah.
All right. Last question is 3 words you tell your younger self.
Um, Probably just live your life. Live
Oh,
your, yeah, 3 words.
nice.
Nailed it. Yeah,
Oh, that's a good
definitely
one.
like yeah. I don't know how I thought of that. Yeah, I definitely like stressed about too much as a kid. I was a big stress head, like especially in school,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
like like with study, like ran myself into the ground, and then now I'm not even using any of the
yeah.
marks that I got to my advantage. Like I'm not even in uni at the moment, and like just stressing about sport teams I didn't make, and then like a year later, like ended up getting there, and
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, just that.
Live your life. Oof. I'm gonna use that.
Yeah, I'm glad.
Mate, I appreciate you so much. Let me know whenever you're running on a beach, and I'm sure it'll be televised somewhere. They're crazy over here. They televise all types of nonsense.
Yeah, you'll be the first person I tell.
Yeah, I'll come on with pink pompons and, you know, fairy wings and all that. It's actually in my car right now, but don't ask why I got it. But anyway, I appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right, we'll talk soon.
Yeah, see you later.
Peace. Bye, everybody.
Bye.